Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
One of the reasons I do this show is because I hope to help people who are grieving. And a lot of us process that grief in so many different ways, and they talk about the 5 stages. And I know we're all different. So today we're going to talk about how people cope with grief right here on Radio Medium with our latest series, Know Your Worth, with my featured expert, who's a trial attorney, as well as the owner of Kanowski Bresney, Todd Bresney. Welcome back.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you very much for joining the show. What are the kind of things that you see walk through your door on a regular basis?
The thing about it is that when I represent an estate for somebody who's passed away, and the way we process that grief is pretty much consistent across the board. But I'll tell you that I've met a lot of great people over the years that have suffered just immeasurable losses, things that I personally couldn't even imagine having to suffer myself, yet I am the one that's required to argue on their behalf. And some are incredibly injured emotionally, and they can't move forward, and some are able to accept it and eventually come to peace with it. I will say that all of them, though, no matter how long it takes them, they are able to move forward, and time does allow them to at least come back to a semblance of a normal life so that they can move forward.
Right. I see so many people isolate themselves from family and friends, or they bury themselves with busy work or physical possessions around them. What's the common thread that you see in your practice with people coping with great loss in their lives?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when they come to me, it's because the person they lost shouldn't have been lost in the manner that they passed it. I just sat down with a client the other day who had just a heck of a life, just one mountain after another. And she had a number of kids, but one of her children was 21 years old, first child to go to college, had a great job, had dug his way out of the hole that they started in, and primarily because of the hard work and dedication of his mother. And all he was doing was coming home to visit. It was a long drive. A teenager was looking at her phone. She crossed the center line, and just like that, he was no more.
Right. Can be an instant.
Yeah, and her whole life went upside down, because as a parent, we're looking forward to their lives. But this woman who clearly had had a very rough life, a lot of adversity, sat there. She was teary, and we were closing up the estate after I was able to get insurance to do what they're supposed to do. And I just asked her, how are you moving forward with this? I have 3 children of my own, and I just couldn't imagine my own 21-year-old son passing in the manner that hers did. She looked at me, and she sniffed a little bit, and she said, life is life, and all we can do is move forward and enjoy what little time we have left. And I thought that was such a profound, positive, embracing of something that she can't change. And you don't want to forget your loved one, but it's a very positive way of being able to move forward.
Right. Choosing her thoughts.
Yeah. What I tell people is, listen, we never can control or change our circumstance in life. By that, I mean luck or the draw or things that happen to us that we can't control. All we can do is program our own selves and how we look at things and how we deal with things. And I think she's telling herself, it's sad. I'm never going to be the same. But this is a short amount of time, and he lived a great life. I lived a great life with him. I had my place, but now it's time for me to move forward. And it sounds harsh, but I think that's the healthiest way I've ever heard anybody talk about such a profound and horrific loss.
Right. Sounds like you do a lot of counseling while you are working with the law simultaneously.
Well, you have to understand this loss to be able to advocate for the value of what was taken. I've met a lot of friends that were once clients, and I look up to every single one of them because of the adversity that they climb and they overcome. I mean, nothing's worse than losing a spouse or a child.
Right. Oh, gosh, we hear it every day. Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Where can people find you, Todd Bresney?
Well, they can find me at bresneylaw.com, or they can call 888, the letter U, count, and the number 2. 888, you count 2.
Wonderful. If you like this episode, you want more, please subscribe, please rate it, please share it. And thank you for tuning in with us today.
Thank you, Laura.